Hi there. Real quick before we jump into the episode. If you enjoy this episode, or any of the other episodes, be sure to give us a follow or subscribe. It would also be great if you shared it with a friend, or better yet, left a review so others can know how awesome it is. Thanks so much. And now, the episode.
Hey there, Press Starters, and welcome to the Press Start Leadership Podcast, the podcast about game-changing leadership, teaching you how to get the most out of your product and development team and become the leader you were meant to be. Leadership coaching and training for the international game industry professional. Now, let me introduce you to your host, the man, the myth, the legend, Christopher Mifsud.
Welcome back, Press Starters. Thanks for being with me today and always being awesome. This week we are discussing servant leadership and how to truly show up and do the work. First up is, how can I help you? A guide to servant leadership. I start every conversation with my employees, bosses, and peers in the same way. How can I help you? Why? First, it yields better results than, what can I do for you? Or the always ill-advised, what can you do for me? Second, it's what servant leadership is all about. What exactly is servant leadership, you ask? It's the hot new trend that's been around forever. While it has been popular in charity and volunteer groups for quite some time, it's now becoming popular in the corporate world. One of my favorite writers and speakers, Wayne Dyer, once said, "Change your thoughts, change your life." And servant leadership is all about changing your thoughts about what it means to be a leader. It's about shifting the focus from serving the organization to serving the people in it. And if you let it, it will change your life. If you're ready for a shift in mindset, here are my top 5 principles for practicing servant leadership. 1. View leadership as a chance to help others. 2. Share authority as a means to build involvement. 3. Listen with a truly open mind. 4. Value personal growth and development above all else. And 5. Know you're not the most important person in the room. As a religious studies and philosophies major, the servant leadership style resonated deeply with me, and I adopted it early in my career. My favorite book, the Tao Te Ching, is basically a study in servant leadership. So the approach made sense to me, and I can tell you from personal experience, it creates powerful results. One of the primary teachings of the Tao Te Ching is to serve the people below you because someday they may be above you. Treat them well. At the end of the day, even in business, it's all about the people. That's why the mission behind everything I do is to empower, enable, and grow those around me to be awesome. I encourage you to do the same. So, in the immortal words of Bill and Ted, be excellent to each other, and serve on, dudes. Alright, now let's discuss how to truly show up and do the work. Stepping onto the mat. I've been practicing meditation in one way, shape, or form since I was 5. This is one of the many benefits of growing up with a New Age mother. It wasn't until I was 27, however, that I discovered yoga. A friend had invited me to an ultra beginner's class, and since then I've committed to a solid on again, off again, off again practice for the past 15 years. While I'm more of an ass over tea kettle than a downward dog kind of guy, what I've learned on the mat has been much more than the asanas or physical poses. While some yearn for the physical practice of yoga, I find myself much more attracted to the breathwork and mental benefits, such as concentration and calmness. I won't lie, my favorite pose is Savasana, the one where you lie on the floor and relax at the end of the class. But while yoga often feels taxing on my body, the biggest takeaway from all my years of practice has been to simply step onto the mat. When we step onto the mat, we are committing for that session that we will put our best effort forward for that moment of time. Every time we show up to do our best, whatever our best might be that day. While the obstacles of the day may change, our commitment does not. When we commit to do our best, we get results. While they may not be the results we expect, something is still gained from the commitment and effort exerted. If we take the same principles to other parts of our life, like work, we can expect the same. No matter how much I don't want to step onto the mat some days, I always feel better after I do. Every single time. And I'm always rewarded with Savasana. This is also true in the workplace. If you show up, I mean really show up, and buy into the work, you will feel better every time, and you will be rewarded for it with results. When we go to the office, or, in this day and age, turn on our computers at home, we should be choosing to step onto the mat. Like yoga, it's important to remove all the obstacles and distractions. Throw yourself into your work by doing the physical part, the asanas of your work. If you put in the hard 8 on the front end, you'll have a hard 8 toward deliverables. When you're finished, and this is the most important part, relax and appreciate the effort. So I ask you, do you show up to do the work? If not, what could you accomplish if you did? Are you ready to find out? And there you have the keys to the wisdom of stepping onto the mat and truly showing up to do the work. What are your thoughts and takeaways from your own personal practices? Let me know. All right, and that's this week's episode of Press Start Leadership Podcast. Thanks for listening this week, and please be sure to give it a like, follow, and a share. And as always, thanks for being awesome. If you haven't downloaded my free ebook, 5 Heroic Leadership Skills, click on the link in the description. Tune in next week for your next episode of Press Start Leadership Podcast. Thank you. Oh, hi. Man, the episode's over, but thanks for sticking around till the end. Be sure to check out more episodes in the playlist and new episodes every week on Monday. Follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Don't forget to leave a review. Thanks again for being awesome.